Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show.
Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road, I'll share your load if you just call. Lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend, and I'll help you carry on, boy. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. So just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me where you're not strong, and I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. So just call me when you need a friend. Oh baby, now call me when you need a friend. Oh now baby, call me when you need a friend. Oh baby, now call me, call me. Thank you.
Thank you, and welcome to Columbine Unity Spiritual Center, where we celebrate a world of peace, harmony, and abundance for all. I have heard that 300 times, and I still have to look at it, so we're really glad to see everybody today. It's wonderful to see faces in the audience and feel the energy from that.
Human people.
Human people.
Joy songs, huh? Couple sing-alongs. So I think we're going to probably play a few songs that maybe they haven't been played as joy songs, but I got to say that this song we're about to play has brought me a lot of joy over the years. We play this in our band, and people love singing along with it. And it's the first song that my dad ever taught me on guitar. So if you know all the lyrics, sing along to everything. Otherwise, I bet you know the chorus. So you just sing wherever your heart is telling you to do so, and we'll get through this thing together, huh? All right. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, a mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, and all my memories gather around her. Mine is a lady, stranger to blue water, dark painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country roads take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, where now I hear her voice. In the morning hour she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Traveling down the road I get the feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, a mountain mama, take me home. Country road, take me home, take me home, take me home. Well done. I got caught up for a moment because I looked down and saw my daughter sitting in the front row, and this is the first time she's ever seen me in this context, and it took me by surprise. Joy songs. All right. Y'all grew up singing This Little Light of Mine by any chance? Yeah. All right. I'm going to throw out some lyrics that you may not have heard at some point, so if they diverge from what's on the screen. But I'll let you know what's coming. It won't be a surprise. All right, here we go. Oh, and by the way, we like to play it in reggae, because why not? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around this world, all around this world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around this world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around this world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Every song I sing, every song I sing, I'm gonna let it shine. Every song I sing, I'm gonna let it shine. Every song I sing, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere, oh, this little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. One more time. Yeah, here we go. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Yeah.
What is our mission statement? We inspire personal transformation. And now we're going to light the candle. Our light's already been shining, right? But now we're going to let ourselves come back to ourselves if we've lost it in any way through prayer. So I invite you to take a nice deep breath as you join me in closing your eyes. And it's through that process of breathing and allowing ourselves to quiet that we make space for Spirit. No matter what is going on in our lives, and it seems like there's always lots going on in our lives, Spirit always guides the way. Spirit's there to support us, to strengthen and empower us, to open our hearts to love and compassion, to give us that sense that everything, and I mean everything, is going to work out and work out for the highest good for us and those around us. And so we take another deep breath this morning, creating space for that activity of truth, that activity of Spirit to have its way in us. For in truth, it is the Spirit within that does the work. From this place then of receptivity, of openness, we bring to mind all those on our personal prayer list, all those on Columbine's prayer list and in Columbine's prayer box in our front lobby. We gently hold them spaciously, inviting that activity of Spirit not only into this place, but into their lives, knowing that they are guided, supported, loved. And from this, then, place of openness becomes so easy to express our gratitude. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Spent some time walking outside. The mountain air is good for my mind. On the days I'm feeling more confused, need some help to make it through. Remind me that everything is gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Dark is only dark until there's light. Like the stars that shine through the night. Oh, when the clouds are gone, the rain is done. It leaves behind the warmth of sun. Reminds me that everything is gonna be alright. Will be alright. And I'm not the first one to say, but I'm gonna sing it anyway. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything gonna be alright. Everything gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything gonna be alright. Gonna be fine. Oh, fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Take my hand, together we will stand. And if one should fall, we'll carry on for all. And we'll be alright, be alright, be alright.
It's great to have you guys here. Looking forward to more music from you after this talk. Have you heard the new term Corona coaster? It's defined as the ups and downs of a pandemic. One day you're loving your bubble, doing workouts, baking banana bread, and going for long walks. And the next, you're crying, drinking gin for breakfast, and missing people you don't even like. That's not exactly what my experience has been of the pandemic, but as the weeks turned into months, turned into years, I could relate much more to the second half of the definition, right? And one of the things that I noticed is that I wanted things back to normal, back to my normal, right? Especially as it dragged on and on. And fortunately, at least in my life, it is pretty much back to normal right now. But we've all had experiences where it hasn't come back to normal. We're working with Elizabeth Lesser's book, Broken Open. And in fact, Sue and I are finishing up the book with this week and next week's talks. This section of the book is called The River of Change. And it's all about the importance of opening to change. Elizabeth writes, "Life is always changing. We're always changing. We live in a river of change, and a river of change lives within us. Every day we're given a choice. We can relax and float in the direction of that the water flows, or we can swim hard against it. If we go with the river, the energy of 1,000 mountain streams will be with us, filling our hearts with courage and enthusiasm. If we resist the river, we will feel rankled and tired as we tread water, stuck in the same place." There's so much truth in that statement, but Elizabeth is exactly right. We have a choice about how we are going to respond to change, but often it's hard to remember that we have that choice. You see, as human beings, we uniquely have desires, we have loves, we have attachments, and those things can be very strong in us, to the point that when things don't go the way that we want, or things don't come back to the way that we've learned to love them, or when we lose a person in our life that was an important support, an important love in our life, we suffer. And often we feel victimized by it. And it doesn't seem like we can get out of it. It just, we continue to grieve, or we continue to be in pain about it, and we're angry about it, and we're frustrated with it. As I reflected on the changes in my life, most of the changes in my life have been sort of circumstantial, things that have changed in my outer life, you might say. This week, I really was opened up to what it's like to have your ability to engage with life change. One of my friends talked to me about the impact of a brain injury on her. My mother reminded me of the impact of a stroke on my grandfather, where you lose so much because you can no longer do like you used to. The capacity is no longer there. And Elizabeth Lesser told her own story of that in this section where she talked about menopause. And for her, she always thought menopause would come late for her and it would be a breeze, right? Not the case. Frustrating, isn't it, how life often doesn't quite go like we thought it should go? So hers came on early, came on in her 40s, and came on with a vengeance. She writes this: "Each morning I woke up confused and afraid. What was going on with me? I wondered with alarm. Where was the zest that I had become accustomed to? Where was my faith in the meaningfulness of life? Why was I so depressed and anxious?" You would think I would have recognized the signs of another phoenix process, right? The phoenix is the dying of something and then rising again out of the ashes. You would have think that I would have known not to strain against the changes, but to surrender to the flow of the river. You would think that I would have realized that an old part of me was dying so that a new part could come alive. But she didn't. And I wonder for you, when we're caught in those experiences, have you recognized them as change? Or have you gone into resisting and fighting? Can you relate to the disorientation and the terror that she was experiencing, and how much emotion and reactivity can come up when things change in our life. You know, we talk about change all the time in this community and how important it is to welcome it. But lately, I've come to realize how difficult it can be, because when our reactivity comes up, which is not necessarily the ego, but the attachment to things, you know, the attachment to being in control, the attachment to things being the way we like them or the way we're comfortable with them, that's the ego. And when it comes up, remember that unity saying that says, ego edges God out. We naturally constrict. And when we constrict, there's no room for the activity of spirit. Why is the activity of spirit important? Because you see, the activity of spirit is everything. It is the sense of support that we can do it, the courage. It is the love, right? Have you recognized with love how you relax into love, how we can trust in love? We feel compassion for others. We feel value for ourselves. It is the exact polar opposite of when we're constricted down by ego. This week I was talking to a friend, and he said, when we exclude some part of our experience, we narrow the space for our Christ nature, for our true nature. And you see, whenever we can't just embrace what's happening, then we're rejecting it. We're rejecting, we're not including it in the experience. I mean, how many of you, well, I'll just own up for myself, never once during the pandemic did I say, wow, this is cool. I wonder what my life's going to be like after this. No, the whole time I was like, when are we going to get back to normal? Not really wanting to face the sense of potential loss, not wanting to face how out of control it would have felt to me if life totally changed. And yet Elizabeth's experience is very true to form. When we're caught in it, we're caught in it. And it can be very hard to remember, you know, that, hey, I need to make some space for spirit here. Elizabeth Lesser was a midwife as in her career. And she was asked by some friends during this whole time of her menopause and this being caught and really struggling and feeling alone, she had been asked if she would come in and help one of her friend's daughters have a baby. And it's really wonderful what happens as we engage with our lives. You know, as stuck as we can be. She was driving to the hospital after getting the call. She's driving through a wooded area when all of a sudden a line that she knew from Dante's Inferno came to her, and suddenly she could see, oh, I'm resisting. I'm not open to the changes that are happening in my life. I'm not embracing them, I'm fighting them. That's why I feel so alone and so disoriented here and so afraid. And she pulled the car over and she prayed. And I want to read to you what she said. Like an animal drinking fresh water after a drought, I dropped my head and I began to pray. Thy will be done, not mine, I whispered into the night. Thy will, Lord, not mine. As I sat at the side of the road, I felt the tension of willfulness and worry melt away. I stepped to the side and gave way to something wiser than myself, to the mystery that knows the truth about the past, the freedom of the present, the route of the future. It's great, right? When something happens in our lives that breaks that pattern of feeling victimized, of being caught in our emotion. And this is the beauty of guidance. We don't talk about it very often, but guidance comes to us in so many ways. That line from Dante's Inferno, something that works to break us open, because Spirit isn't really interested in you walking around being all constricted all the time, because you're the only way Spirit gets to know what it's like to live on this planet. And so it's always working in us. But do we have to wait? Do we have to wait till it breaks us open? I don't know about you, but I'm tired of the proverbial 2 before. I want to be more proactive. I want to invite Spirit more into my life. And so how powerful, right? What if we started every morning saying, not my will, but thy will? Might cause a lot of chatter in my head. And yet, what a great reminder. And I was so happy that she prayed, because this is a fairly long section. And I kept getting the message, how does prayer, the question, how does prayer play into creating the space that we need for Spirit? How can prayer support us in this? Because, so I'm a long-time Unity person. My family joined a Unity church when I was 7 or 8. And where I went, where I was guided, was into meditation. We didn't have prayer chaplains back in that time, for example. And so I mainly spent time in the silence, started praying or started meditating early. So I know how meditation can create space. In fact, every Tuesday when I get the prayer list, I read down the list, and then I take it into as spacious of a place as I can find in me. Because you know what? It doesn't really matter what I say. It's, can I hold space for Spirit? And in holding space for the names on that list, can I impact their ability to open to Spirit, to know that God is in charge. God is doing the work through you and through me. Our affirmative prayer is another way that we can open, right? Affirmative prayer speaks to the truth of who we are. And you can take affirmative prayer and make it into almost anything. I noticed she said that to know the mystery that knows the truth about the past, the freedom and the present, or the freedom of the present and the route to the future. You can say, Spirit in me knows the truth about the past, the freedom of the present, and the route of the future. I don't know what's going to happen, but Spirit in me does. I trust my true nature. Another wonderful affirmative prayer. It gets weaker when you say, my new red sports car is going to appear this week. That's more ego-esque, right? And if it doesn't happen, we tend to constrict. So what is it? If you just pause for a moment, what in you, what words or what posture, what way can you reconnect with space in you? Especially when it's rough, when something that you're very attached to is taken away. What will help you reconnect with the mystery that understands the past, understands the potential of the present, and knows the route for you to take? Is it a deep breath? Is it just pausing for a moment and closing your eyes? Is it a song or a poem? Is it a Post-it note at your desk or on your mirror? Or is it reaching out to a trusted friend who isn't trying to fix you, but instead calls you into that place of spirit? I want to point out something that Elizabeth spoke about, and I see it time and time again in not only my own process, but in working with others. That space is created when we stop rejecting the present moment. Like Elizabeth said that when the line from Dante's Inferno came to her, it was like a single beam of hope came into this darkness that she had been experiencing. And then she was able to embrace the sense of out of control, the sense of loss, the anger, the confusion. And right at that moment is when the relaxation started to happen for her. And so it's like we have to go through that portal. You know, we want to bypass it, right? I want to feel uncomfortable. I want to feel these strong feelings that come up. And yet, isn't it interesting, if we're just willing to allow ourselves to feel them, that opens the portal for spirit. That's what space does. So Elizabeth, I want to close with just one more line from Elizabeth in this section. She says, "It's not always about survival, this life that we're given. It's usually so much easier than that. It's about trusting the eternal life force that's flowing within us. Letting that force lead the way through all the invisible changes we will face across the span of our life or of our time here on earth. Can we let Spirit lead? Can we trust what's happening in our lives? Can we take action based on the guidance that we receive? Yes, we can. And when we do, the suffering begins to evaporate. The mystery of life becomes the experience, not the needing to hold on to what we thought we needed in order to be safe, to be happy. And so, when change gets you, find a way to create a place for Spirit. And watch how Spirit supports you, loves you, guides you, lets you know that everything is going to be okay. let's move into some time of meditation. I invite you to take that breath, right? Especially if you're feeling any kind of contraction, breathe right into the contraction. This is your ego trying to control. Just gently, be gentle with it. Breathe. Invite the relaxation. And let's start this time by simply saying quietly to ourselves, not my will, but thine. Not my will, but thine. Not my will, but thy will be done.
Follow the sun, which way the wind blows. This day is done. And breathe in the air. Set your intention. Dream with care. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Brand new moon, brand new sun. So follow the sun. Direction of the birds, direction of love, and breathe in the air. Cherish this moment. Cherish cherish this breath. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Brand new moon, brand new sun. When you feel life coming down on you like a heavy weight, when you feel this crazy society adding to the strain, take a stroll to the nearest water's edge. Remember your place. Many moons have risen and fallen long before you came. So which way is the wind blowing? What does your heart say? So follow the sun. Which way the wind blows when this day is done. And breathe in the air. Cherish this moment. Cherish this breath. Tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Brand new moon, brand new sun. Oh, tomorrow's a new day for everyone. Brand new moon, brand new sun.
This is a time in our service where we take our love offering. And before we say our blessing, I just want to, I think we do this every week, but thank you for your continued support and your generosity to this community. We really wouldn't be making it without you. So we love you. And thank you for expressing your love for this community through your giving. We have an offertory blessing that we like to say every week, and so I invite you to say it with me now. God's love has always met and will always meet all my needs. I give freely, I receive abundantly, and I am grateful. And so it is. While they're taking the offering, I want to walk you through a little bit of community news. I think most of you here in the sanctuary are tuned in to our website and are on Breeze. But for those of you that are watching us through live stream, we want to invite you to go to our website, columbineunity.org. You can find out about us. You can sign up to receive our email blasts. And you can also sign up for everything that we do here through our website now. So please take advantage of not only the information, but the ease that is there for you in connecting with us. Stuart and I are hosting a potluck at our house in Grand Lake. It's not a dinner potluck, it's a lunch potluck, okay? And so we want you all to feel comfortable to come and enjoy it. It's next Saturday, the 17th. Bring something to share. You can come, early in the morning if you like. We've got paddleboarding, kayaking, canoeing. We'll take you on boat rides. We have a sailboat that we haven't quite been able to figure out how to rig, so if you're an avid sailor, you could help with that. But let's come and enjoy the day together in beautiful Grand Lake. Yes?
I just want to let people know if they're going to go through
Trail Ridge.
they have to get a reservation.
Or you have to enter the park before. You have to either get a reservation to come through Trail Ridge or enter before 9 in the morning. And it's beautiful. I came down through Trail Ridge this morning. It's really stunning right now. And then the next thing is Feet Forward. This is headed up by our own music director, Janice. And Feet Forward is an opportunity, just as so many opportunities of being service here, where you really get to get your hands into helping people. We've been asked to prepare meals, and in this case, every month it's been burritos for those that are hungry. Feeding kids, I want to invite Bill Holmes up to talk to us about that opportunity.
Good morning. I have a question to ask you. Have you ever been hungry for more than a day or two? I'm not talking about fasting, which some of you love to do. Most of us have never experienced true food deprivation. It will surprise you to know that in Colorado, 100,000 people go to bed every night hungry. And it's going to get worse, especially among children. Several reasons. With summer arriving, Adams County School District, Boulder, a lot of the school districts, most of the school districts around the state are closing down for the summer. That means a lot of kids won't get the meals that they normally get. Local food banks, Community Food Share, Food Bank of the Rockies, Food Bank of Pueblo, especially, their shelves are getting very bare, and the food that is available to them has diminished considerably. There are a huge number of families in Colorado that have not recovered from the pandemic, so they don't have enough for food. As you may know, Columbine has packed meals for Colorado Feeding Kids, which is an organization that one of our members, Earl Hauserman, has become on the board of. And the men of Columbine, along with Janice, our music director, has said, we want to do more. We want to do a lot more. So, on Saturday, July 31st, at 9 a.m., we are organizing a packing party for food packets for Colorado Feeding Kids. It'll start at 9 o'clock with a potluck afterwards. Our minimum goal is 30,000 meals. These are small packets that can be converted into larger meals. That will take about 40 to 50 people for 2 hours. If we can get near 100 to show up, we can do 50,000 meals. And those will remain primarily in our community. It'll be a fun day with some entertainment that you can easily recognize. Okay, normally in these services, we ask you to still your cell phones. I'm asking you to do this, and the folks at home as well. Take out your cell phones and go to your calendars and put January 31st, Saturday at 9 a.m.
July 31st.
July 31st, thank you. And show up here. There'll be a way to sign up, and we'd love to have you come and participate. What better use of your time for 2 hours on Saturday? Oh, and we'll be taking donations as well. but we'd really appreciate your helping us out there. My father once told me that some of the greatest pleasures in this life are doing things for other people. Helping hungry children to eat has to be, in my view, in the top of that list. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. When you actually look at the statistics, it's alarming how many kids go hungry in just this state alone. So we invite you to really get involved with Colorado Feeding Kids. Sue McQueen is offering a women's retreat. It's going to start on Friday, August 6th in the evening. It's a $75 charge, but as with everything we do here, we can work with you on a scholarship if that creates a financial burden. But we'd like to see all the women participate in this wonderful retreat. And so for more information, again, go to the website. Our prayer chaplain today, at least one of them, is Lisa. Do we only have one, Lisa? Okay, just one. So Lisa's up in the sound booth, but she promised me she would come down. So you don't have to go to the sound booth to receive prayer. By the way, why would you want to receive prayer today? Our prayer chaplains are trained in affirmative prayer, right? They're going to be reminding you of the activity of Spirit as you, to break you out of the trance of the ego and that you're a victim. And so take advantage of this wonderful gift they're giving. Lisa will be here with the chair pulled up in front of her. All you have to do is sit down and she'll take it from there. All right. I think that's it, guys. Are you ready for the peace song? Here we go. Let's stand and sing the peace song together.
This be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin. God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over